Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. The industrial demand for silver is pushing prices higher and will continue to. We're only starting to see the first glimpses into this consequence. And I call it a consequence because miners knew the outcome of them abandoning silver mines, but they still were chasing the dollar, the greenback. And now we are starting to see some of the outcome from that. Silver demand is rocketing, silver supply is diminishing. 101 investing, low supply, high demand, that's going to shoot the price up. So today we're talking about the industrial demand for silver and really how severe this is going to be getting. Before we start, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new because I post daily videos. It's extremely important to be informed on a day-to-day basis in the world of precious metals. What's going on with prices, what's the context behind the scene, U.S.-China trade negotiations, stock market volatility, Iran tensions, the FOMC meetings, the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates, so many different things. And you need to be informed on a day-to-day basis what's going on because it could highly influence and affect the way you trade your precious metals. So this is the channel for you. Make sure you subscribe. So right now, the industrial demand for silver is starting to pick up. There's new resources coming out, new discoveries for silver, new beneficial factors that are going to be driving the prices higher. The demand's going to be rocketing, especially as new investors come into this world. And a lot of people are focusing on silver. I mean, why not? Silver has a lot more potential than gold. You can make a lot more profits with silver, plus it's cheaper. I mean, that's just common sense. So when miners are focusing on gold, lead, and zinc and bypassing silver, only finding it by accident, you have to think if they ever wondered, what the consequences or what that's going to do to the economy, to the society. I mean, they are focusing only on the dollars, and if gold's more profitable right now because silver's down, what's going to happen when silver's more profitable? Are they going to start focusing on it, or are they going to be able to humble themselves enough to admit that they should have been focusing more on silver because they knew this demand would be coming sooner or later? And it's actually happening sooner than later. So right now, miners are in a weird position because they have been abandoning silver mines, cutting back production by the hundreds of millions of ounces for the last 7 years. So they have a lot of catching up to do, and it's actually an impossible job to catch up. It's actually to the point where we'll have to be dipping into our actual circulating supply to be fulfilling these orders. And now we have companies, tech companies, these big businesses paying high premiums for silver, which that means the producer is going to become the consumer and the consumer is going to become the producer. So the people that have the silver like you and I are going to be the ones reaping the rewards, having to set the price. We have all the power at that point. And that's going to be really what pushes precious metals higher, and that's really why people are stacking it right now, because the consumers are going to be the producers and we're going to be the ones calling the shots, telling people what the price of silver is going to be sold for, because they're going to have to they have the silver right now, but when it's used up, they're not going to. But we're stacking it, we're holding it. And not a lot of silver is being recycled out of technology. A lot of silver is being lost in technology. So this means that once all the silver's run out and the supply is diminishing to especially maybe 5, 10, 15 years from now, we literally are going to be the ones that can say $100 silver, if that's all it is. If you want it, then that's the price. And then we can set the price to whatever it is. I feel like there's going to be a more natural price range once the supply starts running out. It's kind of like Bitcoin. Bitcoin only has a circulating supply of 21 million, which for a global currency, that's an extremely low supply. So once all the Bitcoin are mined, all the Bitcoin are ran out, whoever has the Bitcoin, whoever's holding them, just like silver, is going to be able to set the price. Because if people still want to use Bitcoin, a decentralized, global transaction with zero to little fees, if they want to use the benefits on the blockchain, whoever has them is the one that can set the price if you're willing to pay it. And a lot of people are going to. It's not like they have a choice, especially for the industrial side of it. I mean, investors like you and I have a choice, but big business, tech companies, they have to use silver. We have to use silver for our gadgets or they won't work. Our electronics, silver is the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity and electricity. So we need to use silver in our laptops, in our cell phones, in our cameras, in solar panels, in space equipment. There's silver nanoparticles, photovoltaic cells. It purifies water. They're using it in wall paint for hospitals now because it gets rid of its antibacterial properties. I mean, they have to use silver. So for a demand that high, for people that have to use it, that have to buy it, no matter what the price is, no matter what we set the price at, it's still going to be bought. I mean, that's why when I always talk about $100 silver, I mean, no matter what the price is, industrial companies still have to buy it. They don't like that, but they're already paying the higher premiums right now, which has never happened before. So we're already starting to see that they are willing to pay the price because, rather you like it or not, even if silver's $100, it's still relatively cheap compared to gold. That's also used for the same similar properties. So once $100 silver comes, who's gonna buy it? Only industrial companies? Well, that's a huge side of the demand, which that alone could still keep circulation going. But no, think about when silver was $50. There was more people buying silver at $50 than there was people buying silver right now. And that's because the media, that's because people are getting behind it, that's because people are actually, it's just like Bitcoin. Most people bought Bitcoin when it was $20,000, not when it was $1,800. I started buying Bitcoin at $1,800. That's like silver right now. It hasn't blown up yet. But once it blows up, everyone's talking about it. Everyone's buying it. Everyone's friends, family, everyone's talking about it. And that's when people want to get in and they feel like they have to get in real quick before it explodes even higher. So most people are going to be buying silver once it's extremely expensive, much more expensive than this. So yes, there's still going to be a market. There's still going to be people buying it. There's still going to be people selling it. There's still going to be people trading it. So it's not like, oh, once silver gets $100, no one's going to want to touch it. No, that's when people are going to want to be in it more than ever, which means the price can even go farther than that. And that's when we have a very easy liquid stack to sell because everyone wants it, including the industrial companies. This is stuff that isn't too, it's not too confusing to understand, but a lot of people don't understand it until it's going to happen. And once it happens, you will be surprised. Silver will shock you. It will blow your mind because I've seen it happen more than once. So just remember, silver was $50 not even 10 years ago. A lot of people don't like talking about that. A lot of people don't like talking about silver that was $50 twice in the last 30 years. In the 80s as well. They don't want to mention that because they want to seem like it's almost like they want to sweep this under the rug. Only the billionaires, only the big central banks want all the precious metals for themselves so they can reap the rewards. Why do central banks stack so much silver if silver isn't even used as a legal currency anymore? Why is that? It's like they almost know something that most people don't know. I mean, us silver stackers know it, but the everyday common person wouldn't think anything of it besides coin collecting or hobbyists. It's like, oh yeah, you stack silver because you like the coins or you like the designs. No, there's fundamental intrinsic value inside of the silver that has a lot of opportunity, and it's not even that, it's also preserving your wealth against inflation as the dollar's collapsing as well. That's stuff that people need to know and need to understand. So hopefully this video has educated you more on the industrial uses and what's going to be happening. Surplus is very important. Surplus is one of the biggest price motivators in any type of investment, but especially in precious metals where there is actual uses. Anytime I'm trying to look for an investment, you have to look for what can that investment do. Like just like Bitcoin, Bitcoin, okay, well, it's on the blockchain. It has SegWit now activated, Lightning Network, But if there's another altcoin that's not doing anything, no one's putting any work into it, obviously that's not a good investment. And right now, precious metals, more specifically silver, has many intrinsic values and many things working for it, and that's why it's a good investment, and that's why it has longevity. That's why precious metals have been timeless for 6,000 years. That's why silver's always been deemed a form of value for 6,000 years since biblical times, and that's the same reason why it always will be as well. So, anyways, I'm curious what you guys think. Do you guys think the industrial demand for silver is really going to start picking up the pace, or do you think there's another outlier that could also influence prices besides just industrial demand? I think that's going to be the biggest one right now. That's what everyone's talking about, and that's also why prices are around this $18 range, and I think we're just seeing the beginning of this right now. We are just in the beginning of the $18 silver phase, and we're going to go up to $20 and then maybe $25 by the end of the year, and then who knows where. But I think 2020 is going to be a huge year. We have the 2020 presidential election, which is going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of riots, a lot of rallying. Now, no pun intended, rallying, but it's going to be crazy, and I think that's also going to push prices alongside with the industrial demand to really get prices moving forwards. And this is where precious metals or the silver stackers are going to really be capitalizing off of. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new because I post daily videos. I posted another video today talking about $20 silver in November. I think you guys should definitely be checking that out because I share my perspective on that and why the next month is going to be in the green for precious metals. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. Make sure you like and subscribe. Liking these videos definitely helps the videos get shared around and, allowing people in the YouTube community to really see what's going on. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys soon. Peace.